So welcome, my name is Rebecca Hennis, and I'm going to show you a little bit, kind of some tricks with the Ayesha and then also the inverted straddle. We use these as part of our advanced training. Instructors who pass the advanced training are required to do these. So sometimes there's a bit of fear that can come up for people when they first learn how to do these, and so I want to show you some ways that you can start practicing and knowing that you can get your feet on the ground so that the fear response doesn't come up and hinder your ability to do it. Okay? So with the Ayesha, and we're going to hook with our elbow and have a straight bottom arm, you will want to go through the progression series, meaning you want to make sure that you can do a carousel, you can do full bracket holds, you can do butterflies, extended butterflies, you can caterpillar climb, and you can do one-arm caterpillar climb so the bottom arm is nice and strong. And then after we do those moves, then we move into the Ayesha, and after that usually one of the split type grips or full bracket type holds. Okay, so I'm going to show you what a Ayesha looks like. I'm just going to invert. And from here we'll see how sticky the pole is. We're going to push up, hook with the elbow, you smell your fist, or at least take that fist towards your nose, and we take the legs out and we balance. Now then from there, we are going to come down. Something that we do for safety is always bring the feet back down to the ground at first. Later you can do other things. But I want you to be comfortable putting your feet on the ground, knowing you can get your feet to the ground before trying to put the feet back on the pole. Okay? So, once again, watch my hips. I'm going to show you two ways that the hips could be, and one that would make it very difficult for you to do. So we are up, we are around. All right, so watch my hips. Now see my butt is back. That's going to be really hard. I actually have to make a very straight line from my hand to my body. So there's a straight line going down. If my hips are not far enough out and they are closer to the pole, the weight of the body goes down the pole as opposed to the weight of the body pushing in. So if my hips are up, I'm going to slide. If my tail, like I just showed, if my tail is sticking backwards or my butt is sticking out, that also makes the line not work. It has to be a straight line. If you notice, or if you have a teacher or you have a student that they're continuing to want to put the feet up to the sky, then what I've been having them do is take the legs just up to where they're doing it and then put them down on the ground. All right? So I'm going to demo. I actually should have live people that do things this way so you could see how it is for them. So I'm going to come up and I'm going to show you what somebody's hips would do. So see my hips? Sometimes you're going to get people who don't want to take their knees off, or they start doing this with their hips. That's not going to work. So what I want them to do is to practice coming down, and it's walk down to, or come down towards the bottom arm. So if this arm's down the pole, I'm going to straighten that same leg as arm. I'm going to bend the opposite arm, and I'm going to point the straight leg down to the ground. I'm going to go towards the ground. So if I'm spotting them, I'm behind, I've got their hips. I'm going to just have them bring the legs off, go into more of a handstand type of a position, and then put the feet down. Okay? So here we are, upside down. I'm going to come up. Now, my legs are going to come up. See, this is the leg that I'm going to go down towards the ground, right? I'm going to come up, and I'm going to come down. If you have someone or yourself is resistant to having the legs straight, this is what it's going to look like, that baby step. It's going to look like this. So this is the leg that's coming down, and I'm going to come down, okay? You have to make sure that you're low enough to where your feet do touch the ground. Don't be so high that you can't touch the ground. And start practicing coming down to the ground, knowing you can come to the ground, and then the more you do it, the more comfortable you will be in that position, because the thing that holds a lot of people back is the fear of it. Hi, I'm Rebecca Hennis from Pole Moves. Right now I'm going to demonstrate some basic ways to begin to do a inverted full bracket straddle. And you can use a variety of different arms. I don't really care what kind of hand position you use. You also don't need to kick up into any type of inverted straddle. You can come down into it. When we come down, it tends to be more of a fear for people to take the feet off the pole and then put them on the ground. So first thing we do is practice putting the feet on the ground. One of the moves that is a prerequisite for the Ayesha or this inverted straddle is your extended butterfly, okay? So I'm going to get into an extended butterfly, and I'm going to then practice coming down. And that's going to be what we first do, okay? Well, let's do it from a apprentice. I'm going to come up, I'm going to push out, and then the leg that's out rotates and comes towards the ground. We're going to always practice coming down. After that, after we practice coming down, we've got to practice the hips and where they go. They do have to turn towards the pole. The pelvis will turn towards the pole. The foot will straddle also and towards the pole. So I'm going to show you that. Okay, so here, so my foot comes back, and then I come down. Now, if you're nervous in a straddle position, if you're nervous about hitting your leg against the pole as you come down, just bend it. Practice having a bent leg in Ayesha or this one, and I'll show you what that looks like. So, also you may notice my top arm, this is a true grip or split grip position. It is usually how we are doing an extended butterfly. I do tend to pull my arm down because as we progress and this arm gets stronger, whether you're in a cup grip or a true grip, you'll start pulling yourself towards the pole. If we keep our arms straight, it's a little bit more challenging for the wrist, and it makes it difficult for you to do anything but come down. Now, if we practice bending it, we can rehook and do all sorts of awesome things. So, an apprentice. Now, butterfly. And I'm going to come back. I'm going to bend the leg and come down. Okay? So, if we always keep that leg bent, then we know we go towards a straight leg. Go towards a straight leg. Also the hips. And I'm going to show you two different ways that people do their hips in extended butterfly. There's one where the pelvis is more open, and then there's one where it's closed. It's not closed. It's pointed, you're pointing your pelvis towards the sky, but not necessarily a closed pelvis. So watch my pelvis, the black part here. I'm going to show you what's open, and then I'm going to show you what is more my pelvis being tilted up to the sky. And once it's up to the sky, we just slightly tuck the butt, just slightly, and straighten the other leg into a straddle. So here we go. All right, so I'm in my extended butterfly. This is open. See, I've got an open hip. This is up to the sky. I'm going to take this leg forward and I come back. Though that would be just that regular old grip and ways to come down. It may not be as slow, that's totally fine. Also, the nice thing is when we do that more and we practice doing it slowly, that's what helps us move more into an iron X, is the placement of the pelvis. So hopefully that helps you feel more confident in your ability to learn the Ayesha and learn some sort of an inverted straddle, because the main thing is that you can come down. If you can come down, you put your feet on the ground, practice doing that first and getting comfortable with it so that when you're upside down, your fear or a fear response doesn't prevent you from being able to do the move.